Last year, we got a chance to do a European tour of 15 countries. Estonia, Germany, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, UK. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And then we wound up on the other side of the world. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. Oh, he's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy. You hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. So my son has these 2 friends that come over the house all the time. One friend, his name is Ken, works a lot with computers. The other friend, his name is Fabian. He wants to be a police officer. Both of these kids are really, really good. Now, I keep calling everyone kids, even though they're all 18, but to me, they're kids. I'm almost 40. I'm like, you know. Like some of the conversations that we have are very adult-like. And the other conversations, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? For example, at home when I'm hanging out, I usually just wear, very similar to now except the Hawaiian shirt. I usually wear like a t-shirt that has like either Star Wars or Marvel Comics or Transformers on it or cartoons. I like wearing stuff like that around the house. One day, I'm wearing a t-shirt that has the Avengers on the front. And I walk into the living room, and my son's friend Fabian sees me wearing this shirt. And so he starts pointing. And I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, weak. Excuse me? Weak. And then he says, DC's better. What did you say? DC's better. I'm like, DC's okay. You know, Obama lives there. They pass laws. They got hotels, historic museums. It's not even a real state. I don't know why you're getting cray-cray. He goes, nah, fool, DC Comics. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm almost 40. I don't care. It's just a really cool shirt. I like it. It fits. No big deal. That's because they are. I go, you need to relax. They're the best. I go, you need to chill. And in my head, I'm like, why am I having this conversation? I have better things to do with my time, like trying to get my son on an elephant. But no. The kid in me's like, why are they the best? And then he points at the shirt again. Iron Man sucks. Batman's #1. I go, why? Because he is. I go, that's not an argument. First of all, Batman's not the best superhero. I hate to break it to you. He's not. I can hear people already getting ready to boo. They're like, oh, no, Fluffy, don't go there. Don't go there, Fluffy. Don't do it. Yes, I'm going to do this. Watch this. Batman's not the best superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero. Batman is the creepiest superhero that has ever lived. He even sounds creepy. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. You don't recognize that voice? Want some candy? Help me find my puppy. Hello, he only comes out at night. His face is always covered up. He's always waiting in alleys. And who does he talk to? A guy named Joker, a guy named Riddler. His name is Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Joker, Riddler, Batman. Those are Mexican gang member names. Can you imagine if that was Batman's real identity at night? I'm Batman. During the day? No, chingue su madre, soy Batman, loco. Todo el pinche día aquí trabajando y luego le parte la madre Joker. I'm Batman. I said, all right, Fabian, Mr. Batman's the best. Based on my t-shirt says Marvel Comics. I said, I see Thor, I see Captain America, I see Iron Man. Who are some of the superheroes that DC Comics has that makes them better than Marvel? Go. Batman, you said that. Superman, that's a good one. Wonder Woman, okay. Green Lantern, whoa. I said, I know the other superheroes, but Green Lantern? What's his power? He wears a ring, and the ring gives him power. I said, that's a fantasy. I don't know any man who wears a ring who has power. And if you're not clapping right now, my point exactly. I was celebrating the fact that I got away with that for so long. For so long. I snuck backstage at Chris Rock. I snuck backstage. Until karma showed up one day in the form of the most extreme fan I have ever had in 20 years of me being a comedian. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room. Okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe. Okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would have gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up, and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room, come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room, my towel, like, can I help you? He looks at me, and it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says, listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you gotta take one for your own team. I'm just saying. Now, in all seriousness, not to be funny, not to be disrespectful, let me tell you the reason why I would be an amazing gay partner. The level of communication between two men is so high, I might actually get an answer. There might be clarity and understanding. I might hear a yes, I might hear a no. Do you know how many relationships I have been in where I still don't know the outcome to certain conversations? Very simple yes or no questions. That's what I would do. Something as simple as, baby, you hungry? Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I probably should eat something, but I'm not feeling it right now. But if I don't eat right now, you know how I'm gonna get later. So I guess it's probably a good idea if I start eating right now. But it really depends on the options. What do you think? Ah! What about this one? Baby, where would you like to eat? You hear all the guys? Yeah. Finally! I'm not alone! Everybody's pointing at somebody right now. Guys, am I right? This has to be, you would think that this is the safest question in the world to ask, but it's not. Well, just pick something. You know me, I'm go with the flow. Whatever you decide is okay with me. You know me already, just pick something. All right, we're going to Burger King. I don't like Burger King. Why do we gotta go to Burger King? Burger King gives me chorro. Chorro is Mexican diarrhea. How about this one? How do you feel? Really? Really? You want to know how I feel? Well, you know, maybe if you'd pay attention from time to time, you might know how I feel. You might not need to have to ask me such a question because you would already know exactly how I feel. The amount of time and energy I've exhausted to let you know how I feel, and you have the nerve to ask me, how do you feel? Now imagine the exact same conversation between me and Mr. Lexus. Do you know how efficient that conversation would be? Hey, bro, you hungry? Thought you'd never ask. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. We're going to Burger King. I love Whoppers. Me too. We go to Burger King and we tear it up. We get back home and I ask him, hey, how do you feel? Horny. Me too. How do you want to do this? Heads or tails? It would be efficient. I am super excited, you guys. Let me tell you, this is our 19th year coming to Chicago, okay? 19 years. The first time I came here, I got a chance to meet some people, and they says, you know what, Gabriel, have you ever been here? Have you ever been to Chicago? Like, no, it's my first time. They said, well, you know, we'd like to take you out to eat if you're down. And I'm like, well, hello. I am very down. They took me to a restaurant called Portillo's. You heard of it? So we get there, and it was very, very good. The hot dogs were delicious. I had a chicken chop salad. It was amazing. Had a beef dip, really, really good. But it wasn't until the meal was almost over that these new friends of mine said, we'd like for you to try something you might not have ever had before. And I'm like, that's not likely. I said, well, what is it you want me to try? And they said, well, they sell a thing here at Portillo's called a chocolate cake shake. I said, you had me at chocolate. They said, well, you got to go up to the special window and you got to order it from the lady. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up and I walk over to the lady and she's like, can I help you? I say, yes, my friends are telling me that I need to try this thing called a chocolate cake shake. Okay, what size would you like? How good is it? You want a large. All right, can I please have a large chocolate cake shake? No problem. And there I pay. And she turns around. She turns around and she walks over to this little refrigerator that's on the counter. And she opens it up and she pulls out a piece of chocolate cake. And I'm thinking to myself, she must misunderstood what I said. I didn't ask for a piece of chocolate cake. I asked for a chocolate cake shake. She must have heard what I was thinking because she's walking by and she's like, it's gonna happen. She walks over to the blender, she takes the freaking lid off, and she just looks at me and does this. And I was like, no. And she's like, oh yeah. She pours it and she hands me this like 44-ounce chocolate shake, which is way more than anybody should be drinking. The straw was so thick you could almost fit your thumb in it, okay? So I grab the shake and I begin to attempt to drink it. So I'm just, and I can see the shake coming out. And it hit, and then all of a sudden, woo! Getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I gotta just thank my dogs. I gotta thank my dogs because my dogs kept me sane. They kept me happy. They kept me focused. Because I was so depressed. I was sad. I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What? Cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. You're staring, you're like, oh my God, it's so dark. Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back. I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said, "What about your son?" I said, "Nothing loves me more." I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound like a... You can almost hear, "Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?" And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. "How come you don't come to me first?" I said, "Because the dog loves me more." "How do you know I don't love you more?" I said, "I don't see a puddle." Nita, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that. Sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas and the Super Bowl and the World Series and losing my virginity all at the same time. We were in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. Okay, these three places is where we went to perform. Mumbai and Bangalore, the shows went over very, very well. Okay, there were about 1,500 to 2,000 people, which is amazing for a few going over there. I was like excited, yes. And then we get to Delhi. And when we got to Delhi, you guys, it got a little crazy. Martin walks out on stage and the crowd recognized him. And they started chanting, "Martin!" Anytime I hear that, I'm like, they know him, it's gonna be a good show. So Martin starts cracking jokes. The crowd starts laughing. He's cracking more jokes. The crowd keeps laughing. All of a sudden, I hear this. Martin doesn't say a word to them. He gets off stage, next comedian comes out, and then Martin comes over to me and he says, "Bro, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on out there. There's these three guys in the front row. They're laughing like Klingons from Star Trek. I'm not gonna address them. I'm gonna save them for you." I was like, "Oh, thank you." So then Martin goes back out there on stage. And he introduces me, "Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Iglesias." And then I run out on stage, and the crowd started chanting, "Fluffy, Fluffy." And I was like, "Whoa, what's up, Delhi?" And I start cracking jokes, start getting laughs, start cracking more jokes, start getting more laughs. And then it happened. Now see me, I can't avoid things, especially when it's front row center. So I addressed it. I came right out and I said, "Well, hello." I said, "What do we have here?" I said, "So where are you guys from?" And the guy in the middle looks at me and he goes, "We are from Germany." I said, "Cool, we have Germans in the house." And the whole crowd got really weird. You could hear them. They freaked out because they thought I was gonna start making fun of the German people. And one guy even stood up. "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" I go, "Relax, bro, have a seat. Don't do it!" I'm not gonna make fun of the German people. That's the last thing I wanna do is offend them. I don't wanna end up outside in an alley somewhere freaking in 2 hours. "And this is the last time we are going to tell you, do not make fun of German people." As I'm doing this joke about a German kicking me on the floor with the accent, here's where it gets crazy. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Listen to what I just told you, Bay Area. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Not Major League Baseball. I'm talking about, I'm gonna suck your blood. In India, there are millions and millions and millions of fruit bats. And one of them, actually 6 of them, made it inside of the building. And they're flying around and they're hanging out in the rafters. And one of them decides to fly down. And basically, when I was doing the kicks, I stepped into the line of flight of the bat. And he caught me right here. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look up and you see it and you can hear it. The Indian people saw that and they freaked out. They were yelling, they did it. They did it. We told you, don't do it. We told you, don't do it. They're evil. They're evil. I'm like, dude, I don't care how evil you think the Germans are. They don't have control over bats. It wasn't like the guy got offended and said, oh, really? Uns release the bat. So now the crowd is weird. These guys are laughing. And there's freaking bats flying around the theater. First 2 minutes of my show. I gotta do an hour. And now I've already lost the crowd. They're freaking out. These guys are laughing weird. I'm nervous. It's my first time there. I don't know how to get out of this. So I literally walked over to the other side of the stage and I started just performing for this side of the room, trying to redirect the focus right here. And I'm so nervous, I'm stuttering. I don't even have a segue. I'm like, you know, it's crazy in America. Everybody in America likes drinking, you know, it's real crazy. Like for example, Mexicans, most Mexicans, we like drinking tequila. Most black people like Hennessy. Most white people like Jaeger. Here in India, you guys like Fanta. And when I said Fanta, the crowd went crazy because it was such a local reference. They freaked out. They were like screaming, oh my God, he knows, he knows. They started singing, Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta. The roar was so big, it allowed me to restart my show. So I started cracking new jokes and more jokes and these jokes and those jokes. 5 minutes go by. 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, the Germans got offended at the fact that I left them out of my drinking joke. The one in the middle stands up and he approaches the stage. Now this stage has got to be about 5 feet tall. The guy's head was about this high. He was like 6'4". He looks at me and he starts pointing and he's yelling, hey, fat man! Fat man! What about us, huh? What about the Germans? What do we drink? I was like, dude, that was like 5 minutes ago. We were giving you a chance. What do we drink? I'm like, first of all, sir, I apologize. I'm really nervous right now. I had no idea there was gonna be Germans here tonight. Yeah, felt like Poland. I don't care if you laugh or not. That's a smart-ass joke. That's a smart-ass joke. It's not my fault some of you pendejos failed history. You better Google that and find out why it's so damn funny. So, all the older white people are, God damn it, yeah. So anyway, so I'm standing there and I go, listen, sir, you need to have a seat, okay? The people are getting nervous. You need to have a seat so I can finish the show. And the guy, he refuses. I will not sit down, fat man, until you tell us what we drink. I go, listen, I don't know what you guys drink. And the Indians are being so cute. They're trying to help me. They're yelling, hey, they like Fanta too. And the guy was like, we do not like Fanta. I'm like, dude. I go, sir, please have a seat. I will not have a seat until you tell us what we drink. Tell us, fat man. I go, listen, sir, you need to sit down and you need to stop calling me fat man. Now it's starting to bother me. This is like the 6th time he does it. And I didn't just lose 100 pounds to now get called fat man. So I go, sir, if you don't have a seat, we're gonna have a problem, especially if you call me fat man again. And he freaking did it. What are you gonna do, fat man? What do we drink? Even Martin, who's behind the curtain, knew. He knows when I'm at that point where I've crossed over. I can hear him in the back. Don't do it. Too late, Fluffy's pissed. So I said, you want to know what you drink? Tell me. Don't ask me where this came from. I got right in his face and I said, blood of Jews. Now see, automatically you guys gave me a whole different reaction. In Delhi, that was probably the most shocking thing ever said on that stage. So shocking that 2,000 people at the exact same time got so quiet, you guys, so quiet. You could hear everyone's ass just... And I'm still standing there, my hands out. Have you ever said something that was so bad? And I mean, you knew it was bad as it was coming out of your mouth, and you're trying to stop it, but it's too late, it's already out, and you're like, no. And it's too late. Blood of Jews is all over his face, right? I'm standing there, my hands out, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I'm like, ah! He says, that's a good one, yeah, that's a good one. Oh my God, thank you, thank you. It doesn't end there. I'm telling you guys, this is so crazy. So next morning, Martin and I are flying back home to Los Angeles from Delhi. We're taking an airline called British Airways. We go from Delhi to London, England, and we have a connecting flight over there. Once we get to England, they canceled our connect for whatever reason. And so we got rebooked on another airline called Lufthansa. It's a German airline. Now, this is why I believe in karma. Seriously, Martin's like, really? Blood of Jews? I'm like, I know. I felt like they phoned ahead. Ons, take care of Fluffy. So I put down my credit card. I made sure that Martin and I got upgraded to at least their business class because it's like a long flight. And so we're in there, we're on the plane, and the plane takes off. About 20 minutes into the flight, we're just sitting there, we're laughing. And the flight attendant, she starts coming down the aisle with the little cart. Okay, she's coming down the aisle and she sees me and she goes, hello, sir. Do you have a preferred drink of choice today? Martin looks at me, taps me in the chest, and he goes, hey, tell her. Tell her, bro. Come on, ask for it. If anybody has it. Dude, shut up. And then she looks at Martin. Sir, do you have a preferred drink of choice? And Martin's like, yeah, you guys got blood of... She's like, Bloody Mary? Yes, yes, Bloody Mary. Freaking Machete's gonna get me banned from flying. So we make it back home. I'm trying to tell the story to my girlfriend and my son, and my girl, she's barely laughing. She's like, like she's jaded. She doesn't laugh at my jokes anymore. My son Frankie, on the other hand, he is dying. Ah! And I'm like, really? He's 16 years old. I go, really, Frankie, you thought that was funny? He goes, yeah, it's funny. I go, what was so funny about my story? He goes, those people you're talking about. I go, who, the Indians? He goes, no, the other ones. But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people, I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, it's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage and I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage and I run into security and I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. Looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating, just. The door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just. Welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian and I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock. And he recognized me. And it freaked me out. Oh yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit. Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo. And that's another thing that's changed, you guys. My son Frankie is now 18 years old and 1 week away from graduation. You guys are clapping, but he's not leaving. I've already asked him, I said, Frankie, what do you want to do with your life? Have you thought about college? Just now. I'm like, Frankie, you do realize that all you need to do is get accepted. I tell a lot of jokes. I will pay for your entire college education, no matter where you want to go. As long as you get accepted. What do you think about that? I said, if you want to go to school in California, we'll make it happen. You want to go to school out of state, we'll make it happen. I said, hell, I'll even do one of those international programs. The ones where you give them one of your children and then they give you one of their children. What is it called when you kid swap? Thank you. Sorry. That's right. Exchange. Some of you are like, that's called human trafficking. Different program. I would love to do an exchange program with my son, but don't give me a regular kid. If I'm gonna do an exchange program, give me a kid from like a hardcore third world country so that he appreciates all the basic things most American children take for granted. That's why I say, give me little Tombutu. Give me Tombutu. I would love Tombutu, and Tombutu would love me.
Mr. Fluffy?
Yes, Tombutu.
I was wondering, what time do we go to sleep?
You go to sleep whenever you like. This is your room. We sleep next door. All of this is for Tombutu? Yes, all of this is for Tombutu.
In my village, 2 families sleep in an area this big.
Well, here in America, one big-ass Mexican kid sleeps right here. Enjoy. And then I would take him to like IHOP or Denny's and let him order whatever he wants and just watch him lose it.
This is the Thanksgiving I heard of. Thank you, Mr. Fluffy. Thank you. If there is anything Tombutu can do for you, please tell me. Anything.
Can you help me take out the trash?
For you, I will eat the trash.
Meanwhile, my son's on the other side of the world on top of an elephant trying to get Wi-Fi. I
and it's an all. I don't know. I'm not gonna be like. Think about. That's awesome. Yeah, like six. A lot of things